did right.
What? Oh,
So I'm just saying, we're just prepping the scene here, and I looked at the last video and I realized I wasn't holding my stomach in properly. Because remember, you're not fat; you're just not holding it in right.
that's right.
So I remember back in the days we were just discussing how HACT, the AIDS Committee of Toronto, closed yesterday after 42 years, and they closed because the need isn't what it used to be. People are able to live. Their cocktail is working. The stigma behind it does not exist, and
As much.
not as much. It's still there. With the youth, they don't care because they have no frame of reference to the horror that used to exist and the fear. So when you tell somebody who's 20 about being HIV positive and AIDS, you might as well be talking about eggs.
Yeah, because they know that they rather
don't
talk
know.
about
It's
PrEP
It's
now.
not,
They
it's
rather
not a
talk
big
about
deal. But I remember back in the day, one of my early roommates, and he told me that he was actually, when they found out that he was gay, he wasn't even positive. He was just gay. And it was gay by association. They threw him out of the house. They threw all the dishes away. They threw all the cutlery. They threw everything in the garbage that he touched and ate from.
Really?
They did. He told me this, that he needed to move in with me. Pardon me, this is my agent calling. Pardon me, one sec. I'll call you back later. This was my friend I hosted for dinner last night. I'm sorry, people.
Okay.
But
They threw the stuff in
they
the
threw
garbage.
the cutlery in the garbage. They threw all the glassware. They threw all the plates, everything, because they were too afraid. They didn't know what he had touched, and it was thrown in the garbage because they were so fearful of AIDS back in 1987.
Oh my God! It's a wonderful thing that we've come so far with the treatment of AIDS and how we look at things differently now, and how people are so responsible. And great that people are sharing the story, but the horror of it is what we will never forget.
Well, they will. Not to interrupt, but I'm going to interrupt you. They are not responsible. PrEP has made it just as irresponsible as it was before. No one's using condoms, and the next big thing is going to come and wham, and before you know it, it'll be what just happened to us. We learned nothing.
Well, I just watched this thing about Houston. They went from Daytona. Now Houston has become the new hot spot for, spring breakers.
Yes.
And they said 42,000 people tested for STDs, and they were just all down there just having a ball. Not even you. The fact that these are young people. And the fact that PrEP and all these other things are in place for them to use condoms, and they pay it no mind. It's just.
I got something to say.
Okay.
Apparently, the number one STD capital in the United States is Florida, and it's in old age homes.
Really?
Because a lot of Alzheimer's and dementia, they aren't cognizant of what's going on, just hooking up, having sex, and there's a lot of sexually transmitted diseases in old age homes.
Old people having sex?
Old people having sex. Listen, you know how much dust is in the room before? And there's even more now. It's like making love to a vacuum cleaner bag.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. I mean, they have to be. Where do they get the Viagra from?
Well, I don't know where it's coming from, but all I know is if you go too fast, you can start a fire. That's how dry it is.
Well, hopefully down the road we'll find a cure for HIV and AIDS, and but we will never find a cure for stupidity.
No, we won't. If we won't, that might eliminate some of the political affiliations. But that's a whole other discussion.
Hello, we're trying to get our podcast going, not canceled before we get started.
That's right.
We need some funding, y'all.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.